Scenic Hotel Group, a place to stay no matter your staycation. From the Legacy Collection, Scenic Hotels, Suites and Resorts, and Heartland Hotels. Find your place to stay at scenichotelgroup.co.nz.
Let's go to track and field. The Adelaide Invitational is on tonight with, as far as I can see, at least 3 Kiwis involved. The men's 800 metre field includes 2022 World Championship representative Brad Mathis. And in the women's pole vault, 2 Kiwis, Olivia McTaggart, who was 4th at the Commonwealth Games last year. And at that event, Commonwealth Games bronze medalist Imogen Ayris.
Here comes Imogen Ayris with the crowd's applause ringing in her ears. Up towards the bar, up she goes, but hits her with her foot on the way up. Comes down with a rueful smile, but it doesn't matter because Imogen Ayris has won a bronze medal in the pole vault.
Yeah, that was at Birmingham last year. Imogen Ayris is with us now from Adelaide. Amazing moment for you last year, Imogen, bronze at the Commonwealth Games. How do you reflect back on that moment in your career when you think about it now?
Oh, it still gives me goosebumps to think back to it. It's just moments like those that remind you why you're doing this, and those highs don't happen as often as you'd like playing sport, but that's just the reality of sport. So when they do happen, it's important to take it in and really just celebrate them when they come.
What were your expectations or your hopes even going into Birmingham?
I went in straight after my debut at World Champs, not a very successful one, and that was weighing on me quite heavily. And I just wanted to go out there and show everyone what I knew I was capable of doing at Worlds, because I was in really good form. I just wanted to go out there and enjoy this first year on the international stage as a senior athlete. I wasn't really eyeing up any placings. That genuinely wasn't on my mind. It kind of only happened once I cleared 4:45 and there were only 4 of us left that it became apparent that it was a possibility. The whole time I was just jumping for fun and trying to prove to myself what I was capable of.
Now, have I remembered this correctly? Did you have a fractured bone in your foot?
I did. I didn't know at the time, though.
What, so did your foot hurt, though?
Yeah, it did. It did.
Clearly didn't affect you that day, but what, so it had been kind of hurting and you thought, oh, it's just a bit of a pain in my foot, but actually it was a fractured bone in your foot?
Yes, it was. So straight off the plane in America, which would have been about a month and a half before Com Games, first session I felt it and it felt quite sore. But we kind of just put it down to the travel and whatnot. And then it just didn't get better. It was just hanging around and a bit niggly, and sort of a week out from comms, we were kind of like, okay, this is looking like it's actually something serious. So we dialed back the training a bit. And the goal was to just get me out there on the day, strap it up and see what I could do, and then get a scan the next day, which is what happened. And it just revealed a clean fracture.
This is incredible. So you go into the event with I guess, no real expectation of success, getting on the podium. You've got a fractured bone in your foot, but you win the bronze medal. So has that made you reassess your goals from here on or from there on?
Not necessarily. I think all my intentions going into every competition will remain the same. It is all about it's a very individual sport, and you're always trying to better yourself and prove to yourself what you're capable of. I still didn't jump as high as I would have liked that day or what I knew I was capable of. So to even come out with a bronze medal after that performance, which wasn't my best performance by all means, is pretty special.
So when you look ahead now, is Paris 2024 on your radar?
Yep, absolutely. So that the qualifying period for that starts July this year. It's all go.
How high do you reckon you could jump?
That 5 metre mark is very appealing to me. Not many women have done it, so that would be pretty awesome.
And when you're looking at ways of improving your height, it just seems to me that there are so many different elements to pole vault from the moment you start your run until you're up and over the bar. So where can you get the most value in terms of working on small improvements?
Yeah, well, like you said, there's just so many elements to it. Obviously, you want to be fast, you want to be powerful, you need to be technically very accurate. It's just those 1%ers in every aspect. What makes pole vault so unique is a lot of our performance rides in our equipment. Like, we put a lot of trust in our pole, and that's just a whole nother element to consider. So yeah, there's a lot that goes into a jump. It's not just one element that you can fix.
In terms of the pole that you use, have you changed your pole often through your elite career, or have you pretty much stuck with the same one or the same sort of pole?
Yeah, I've tried a lot since I started. You want to figure out what works best for your technical model, and even when you're at the top, that can still change. But for now, I'm very confident with the poles I'm on, the material and length of poles I'm on, that they can take me to quite a high height. I'm not maximising them yet, so it'd be cool to see what else I can get out of them.
I mean, a lot of people get into sports in different ways. You know, I can understand how someone gets into running. I can understand how someone gets into swimming. But getting into pole vault always seems like something that isn't quite so obvious. So, what was your journey into the sport?
Yeah, it is a very unique sport. You're right, and it's pretty crazy. You've got to be a little bit crazy to even attempt it. But I was a gymnast, so I was used to being upside down and throwing myself upside down in the air. I was also an athlete, so I was involved in track and field since I was 7. It's just a combination of the two, really. It was kind of the perfect mixture.
5 metres is a long way up. I mean, 4 metres is a long way up. Is there any even early on when you're learning your trade in the sport, is there any fear that becomes a part of this? Any trepidation?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people ask that, and I think if you started and all of a sudden you were 4 meters in the air, it would be pretty frightening, but it just happens so gradually. Like, when you first start, you're a meter off the ground and consequences aren't great, and then as you get better at it, you start jumping higher and your confidence is builded by that point. So I think it just stays relative. Like, yeah, I mean, if you were thrown into the deep end from the start and you were falling from 5 meters, that would be incredibly frightening. But by the time you get to jumping 5 meters, you've been doing it for so long, your technique is so nailed down that you know when things are going wrong and you know how you can adjust to fix that.
Yeah, great analysis. And you mentioned before that often you're competing against your own personal best. You're trying to make the improvements yourself, but you've got Olivia McTaggart obviously alongside, competing at a similar level to you. Is that helpful to you to have someone of her calibre, basically, doing many of the same competitions you do?
Yeah, of course, especially being overseas and being in foreign countries and in international fields where New Zealand is a minor represented country at those majors. You've got Team USA and Great Britain who just take up, and big countries like that take up big fields. So to have another Kiwi out there is, very special. Fantastic.
And so to finish, I mean, Adelaide tonight, and then what? Imogen, whereabouts are you in your season at the moment, and what are the big events over the next over this calendar year, perhaps?
Yeah, well, tonight kind of kicks off the start for us. We've had a couple minor ones, but from now we've got 7 comps in 8 weeks or something. So we're really in the mix of things now.
Fantastic. Well, it's been so cool to catch up with you. Look, I wish you all the best tonight and on towards the rest of the year and then Paris next year. Actually, I do have one more question. When would a pole vaulter typically be at their peak in terms of? I mean, I don't know how old you are, but when are you near your peak in terms of what you think you can achieve?
No, I would say I'm not there yet. The girls at the top now are in their early 30s, late 20s, early 30s. I've just turned 22, so I've got a bit of time to get up there.
Well, that is fantastic news, man. That's brilliant. It sounds like the future is very bright. Imogen, again, thank you for joining us across New Zealand. All the best tonight and for the rest of this year as well.
Thank you.